everybody. Welcome to the National Real Estate Post Interview Daily. I am here with National Association of Mortgage Broker President Kimber White. How are you, Kimber?
Good. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing well. So, guys, full disclosure, this is being recorded at 10 a.m. Pacific time, Thursday, November 5th. So, by the time you're watching this, who knows where things are gonna be. But as of this moment, it still is undecided. Everybody's kind of looking at Nevada. If Joe Biden tips Nevada, it's done for the looks like, right? And so
Yep.
What Kimber has done is he kind of put together a little something for us based on the results of this election. We're going to touch on what his thoughts are there, and then I'm going to throw out a question after that. So Kimber, take it away. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, well, like I said, we're sitting here today, which tomorrow will either be over or not when your show comes on. Maybe not, according to the way this week's gone. But a little bit clear is that, what happens if Trump wins? What happens if it's a Biden administration? I think it's pretty clear that if Trump pulls off his win, pretty much business as usual. I don't think we're going to see anything different. The regulatory risk to our financials are going to decline. We would not expect the big bank capitals to actually increase, and we would expect Kathy Kraninger to remain director of the CFPB. I think that's pretty much where we'll be. We may have a little adjustments, but I think it's business as usual. Now, what happens for Fannie and Freddie? I think that's what we're asking for. That if Fannie and Freddie controls the White House, it matters the most. If Trump can pull off the win, which is not impossible, it's still there, then we expect the enterprises will remain on the path out of conservatorship. Again, this means that capital rules get finalized shortly, which means GSEs, means the tax that we talked about last week. Treasury restructures the net worth sweep, and FHFA issues a consent order spelling out how Fannie and Freddie is going to escape conservatorship.
Okay.
And I think that'll be done pretty quickly after the election.
Okay.
And I think we'll see what's going to happen. Now, but Biden wins, what's going to happen? If Biden wins, he's not necessarily going to stop all of that. Housing policy, where to expect from Fannie and Freddie post-election. FHA is likely to try to advance much of their agenda as possible before the inauguration. The problem is going to be the expected Biden Treasury Secretary will try to slow down the process, and we all know that's going to slow us down. It is hard for us to see that the market recapitalization of the enterprise when the Treasury Secretary is warning that the government can still nationalize these entities or take other steps that will call into question the wisdom of investing in them. More broadly, Biden victory with the Republican Senate likely will eliminate the ability of Team Biden to advance its $15,000 first-time home buyer tax credit. We view this credit as a central plank in Biden's housing agenda. It's designed to expand the home ownership rate, especially for minorities, by helping borrowers with their down payments. Team Biden still could try to lower the FHA premium, which could help housing, but hurt the mortgage insurers. To us, the problem here is going to be that the actual report. This is the annual assessment of the health of the FHA program. It has likely showed that the health has deteriorated because of COVID and the economic crisis. Again, this backdrop, FHA may be unable to cut premiums in 2021 because of what we just went through. Bottom line, different world, different backdrop, Biden White House, we're going to see different things than we would under a Trump White House.
And that brings me to my question, which is, under the Trump administration, obviously there was a lot of deregulation in lending, finance, that type of a thing. Obviously the Democrats were not fans of any of that. So, if here's my big question, it pertains solely to the mortgage brokerage community is there's still this stigma up there on the Hill, I believe, probably, this unfair stereotype that, it was the mortgage brokers who caused the problem in 2008, right? And that's probably still floating around in there. Remember, mortgage broker became synonymous with the bad guy back in 2008, which is completely unfair. We all know that. But it's that stigma is still there up on the Hill, possibly. So if we get a Biden administration to come in, they're probably going to start looking at getting tougher on regulation for finance, for mortgage, because I feel Trump loosened that up a little bit. Do you think that perhaps the mortgage broker industry might fall into the crosshairs on this? And, I don't know that anything would happen, but do you think that they might start getting scrutinized and looked at Possibly, now, full disclosure too, everybody, Kimber White, 30 plus years as a mortgage broker, currently a mortgage broker doing business right now. In fact, a very successful mortgage broker, always has been a mortgage broker, and is the president of the National Association of Mortgage Brokers. So, you know, what are your thoughts on that if a Biden administration pops in or is already in?
You know, I think you've got to look at who would put in the administration. And yeah, I think there would be. And I don't think it would be direct, like I'm coming after Mr. Mortgage Broker, but the things we've tried at NAMB to advance, you know, getting rid of the 3% cap. Some of the other rules that we've trying to put in, work with the CFPB, the relationship. I think we're going to have to redevelop that relationship. We're going to have to show that, you know, we're not the same people in the mortgage broker, because I think if it's, you know, not saying this, Elizabeth Warren, for example, I mean, and she was part of the formation of CFPB. And I think that she's going to play a key role in the Biden administration. If anyone doesn't think so, then they're just not thinking right. It's going to happen. And so I think we have to understand the mortgage broker is going to be effective and say, why do you need the changes? Why do you need loosening of any regulations? Because it's already been talking. I mean, if you listen to what Elizabeth Warren said, and even some of the nominees on the Democratic side, they said they felt that the regulations already were too loosened and that they had been watered down. So in the mortgage, as far as the mortgage brokers are concerned, absolutely. I don't think it's going to be a target, but I think there's going to be more scrutiny. I think there's going to be more work that NAMB's going to have to do. I think our industry and a mortgage broker, once again, we talked last week about education and making sure this didn't happen again. This plays right back into the string that we went through last week, saying you can't just plug and play and put people in our industry, because under a Biden presidency, there is going to be more scrutiny on the mortgage broker. We better be educated, better prepared, and know what we're doing, because we cannot afford another meltdown that the blame is on the mortgage broker. We may not be here if the next one happens and it's blamed on us.
Good stuff from Kimber White, president of the National Association of Mortgage Brokers. Thanks for your insights, bud. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here.
All right.
You guys do us a favor, leave your comments down below, forward, share, subscribe, and you can get our mobile app by doing this.
Download the National Real Estate Post mobile app today. Available on Apple Store and Google Play. Just search National Real Estate Post.